Hello, and good time zone. And that squeaking sound you just heard was my chair and nothing else. What is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Lovely to see you. Lovely to be here. I have missed the stream. I have missed doing the artworks. This feels good. This feels nice. I hope you're all well. Turnip, thank you so very much for the lurk, and welcome in also to Roll and Samantha and Sammy Ann. I hope you are all very, very well. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I don't know if do I have anything exciting to report? I've been in varying states of not feeling amazing this week, but what's new? Other than that, I have 3 beverages today, and today is World Book Day, I believe, so it feels appropriate that I absolutely on purpose didn't finish this painting last time. And we're gonna maybe finish it today. We'll see. If we don't finish it today, there'll be so little left that I'll probably just finish it off stream. But oh boy, guess who once again forgot to charge their overhead light battery before starting? So that's a little. I've had to give it like an emergency mini charge just now, so it's not fully charged, but never mind, it's partially charged, and that's better than nothing. And if it runs out, we do have other lights and lamps and things that I can use that are a little bit more shall we say atmospheric, I guess. Atmospheric, let's go with that. Anyways, it's the heat was on earlier because it was cold in the house. And I was in a room that is a lot bigger and a bit draftier than the studio, but every time I forget to switch the thermostat off in time, and I come into the studio, I've got 2 steaming hot cups of tea, and the radiator's been on, and it's right next to me, and this is quite a small room, so this is the room that tends to be the warmest if the heat's running. So now, like, I'm in my sweatshirt, and I am sweating. Oh, biddle beans. It is toasty. Oh no, what a ding dong. Anyways, this is one of my beverages because I needed a cold drink, so I'm having a can of Solo. So I apologize for the you're welcome for the opening a can of beverage ASMR. Please enjoy. If I can get. You hear that fizz? You hear that good fizz? If you're not familiar, it's just a fizzy orange drink. It's just a fizzy orange drink that I happen to like, so. Yum yum Solo. Delish. Anyways, it's not my favorite fizzy orange drink, but I would say it's up there. It's not as good as Tuborg Squash, which is my favorite fizzy orange drink, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like Solo. It's better than a lot of the stuff you can get in this country that is chock full of the sweeteners that I find deeply unpleasant. Does it have sweeteners in it, or is it just sugar? Water, sugar, orange juice, flavor. Nope. Nope, that's it. Well, no sweeteners. That would explain why it doesn't taste like chemical butts. Anyways, I apologize for my spicy flavor opinions at the top of stream. But here we are. Anyways, good news is I moisturized before we started, so parts of my hands are soft, but I also had to wash dishes just before we started because I needed like a clean mug and a clean spoon and all that jazz. So I moisturized and then immediately washed off my moisturizer, and I did also have a hot shower earlier, so my whole body is like I love feeling clean, but I don't love how dry I get after taking a shower. I'm putting water on my body. How do I feel less moisturized afterwards? That doesn't seem fair. You don't need to explain it to me. I know. It doesn't seem fair. That's the point. Right. This is our painting for today. And there is an amount of work that needs to be done on it. We need to get some details, some shading, and some line weight in here. before we can call this good. But it feels like it has some measure of like substance and thingness to it now that it didn't before we started. I honestly, I feel like a lot of the paintings that I do, and I think I hope that at least some art people can relate to this, is that like sometimes I'll be watching someone else doing like, sort of a speed paint or something, and I'll be like, oh wow, that looks amazing. They must be done. Oh my god, they're doing even more. Oh, they're doing even more than that. Oh wow, they're still going. Okay. Every stage of this piece looked like a beautiful completed piece of art. This is amazing to me. And then there are other art projects where you're like, wow, this is just gonna look super bad for like 86% of the process, and then it's gonna start to look good, and you just gotta trust the process. And sometimes I wish I was the kind of person who could produce artwork that just looks like amazing, like right from the get-go, because I don't know, I feel like is that more satisfying to watch than like a trust the process painting, or is it more satisfying to watch a trust the process where you're like, oh man, I can't wait for this to get good? Or are you just going to be like, I am thoroughly unimpressed by this. This is all very bad. I don't know. I just don't know. One of the things about being live on the internet is that my filter just goes away. So you get all of my unfiltered ideas and notions, including, like self-deprecation and a general lack of like self-confidence. So apologies for that. I am gonna BRB for a second, wholly unrelated, but it is a freaking sauna in this room. It is a sauna, and I need to change into a shirt that isn't like fleecy, because this is very fleecy. I mean, it's cool because it's got a dragon on it, which I love, but it's very fleecy. So I'm gonna go put on like a light t-shirt or something. I'll be back in a sec. I'm sorry, everyone. Back in a second. Ah! Okay, that's better. I have changed. I have knocked over a box of paint. 1 second. Where did you? Oh shoot! What the? Beans. Okay. What? Heck. All right. Well, anyways, there we go. Okay. I have changed into. You can't see it, but I've changed into a T-shirt that features an illustration of a massive fireball emanating from a 1,000 wick candle. You can see it says it's cozy AF. A massive fireball emanating from a 1,000 wick candle, which says, it's candle season, in big letters. Never enough. Cozy AF. And I feel cozy, but also not sweaty in this, which is crucial. So love that for me. Right. I need to figure out what our plan of attack is for this piece today. And I have a couple of notions. Notion number 1, I think I want to kind of maybe dull down like the back portion of this bookshop, just so it kind of, in the hopes that it maybe kind of recedes a little bit, but also I didn't want to have to paint in like a detailed scene behind the bookshelves at the front, so I'm kind of hoping I can sort of get away with it just being like a slightly darker, slightly grayer color, and not having that draw too much focus from the books in the front. But we're going to be adding like details and line weight and stuff to this, to the foreground as well, which I'm hoping will help. And then to kind of balance that out, I should probably add a little bit more sort of gray darkness to the inside of this little cafe as well. But I don't know, not too much. But I just, one thing that I'm really bad at with my brain is not good at imagining what things will look like. Um, my brain is not very good at imagining what things will look like. So, yeah, I'm very much sort of flying by the seat of my pants whenever I'm doing something like this. In terms of having to kind of be in the fluff around and find out school of Ortworks is my no. Are you kidding me? Are you doing it again? No. Okay, stream is going to be broken for just a second, so bear with, because it's done something stupid. I'll be back in just a second. Technical difficulties ahoy. This is deeply annoying, and I hate that it does this. Why? Hoy. Okay, we're back. We're back. I think we should be back. Are we back? Hello. Please don't have left. We should still be online. Once again, my computer started doing this thing that where when my computer is attached to when my computer is attached to my phone, like when my phone is plugged into my computer, it's just like, oh, do you want me to use your phone's data to access the internet instead of the Wi-Fi you're already connected to? Okay, cool. And it just decided to do that a couple minutes ago, which I love for me. That's delightful. And now it's not recognizing that my camera's connected. There we go. Okay, camera's back. Right. Sorry, so sorry for the interruption. Hopefully, is anyone still here? I hope anyone is still here. I honestly don't know. But I did a very slapdash job of setting up stream today because I was in a bit of a hurry because I was doing some other things relating to other parts of my life beforehand, and they took a wee minute. So here we are. Anyways, but I'm back. Hi. And I'm ready to actually get to paint. Very excited about that. Twitch is taking a very long time to load, which I don't love. Come on. There we go. Okay, we're back. Now I can paint. Though I am, as I say, deeply nervous about it. Nervous as heck. Even Anana is nervous. Anana, of course, being friend of the channel, our Lego pineapple who holds my paintbrushes, has lost a bit of his foliage. So let me put that back on. Oh, désolé, petite Anana. Très bien. Oh, isn't he handsome? Look at his beautiful foliage. Very handsome indeed. What a lovely fellow. His little dungarees. He is also an emote and a stream sticker. Because obviously I had to make official fan art of the best little guy that I know. So dutifully holding my little brushies. Which I really appreciate. Okay. So I'm gonna... Oh yeah, so someone asked me a question on, or just made a post on, oh my goodness! 15 stream steak from Espy. Hello, welcome in, and thank you so much for the 15 stream steak. I hope you enjoy your 15 steaks. That's amazing. What was I saying? Also, hi, hope you are well. Welcome on in. Oh yes, someone earlier had mentioned something about watching the like Pokemon anime, in the Discord. Which I've never seen. Okay, apart from like the one reference to Jam Donuts that I know, I've never actually watched any of the Pokemon anime. So they were like, yeah, is it weird that I ship these two characters? And I'm like, I don't know. Is that weird? Because I'm not familiar with the source material. So I went to If you're not familiar with the website, archiveofourown.org is where people post fan fictions. And so I went there and I went to the search bar and I typed in the two characters' names to see if I could find out whether or not anyone agrees with our friend over in the Discord. And it turns out there are 17 works on AO3 with that pair. So I guess potentially 17 other people, and I let them know. I will not be reading any of them because I don't know the source material, and I'm on a different media kick at the moment. I just received a beautiful secondhand copy of Jeeves and the Tie That Binds by P.G. Wodehouse, so that's what I'm going to be reading next, I think. Very excited about that. It's chock full of shenanigans and the way that people used to talk in the Englands if they were a fancy lad in like the 1920s, which I find incredibly charming. I don't know, neither of these main characters are neurotypical, which is probably why they appealed to me, and as an adult, I'm like, oh, I'm beginning to understand why these characters appeal to me very much. Also, it's quite gay, so very excited. Anyways, it should be 16 this stream, says SB, but I noticed I could pop off the notification for 15 before it continued. Oh, I see. Well then, thank you for the 16 stream stake. That's equally exciting. Even that's exciting plus one. Thank you. Very lovely to have you here. Very much appreciated. And hell yeah. Okay. Gonna paint. I am dithering because I'm scared I'm gonna ruin this painting, so I am 100% dithering. Also, this is another one of those like paint palettes where I'm like, did I make a huge mistake because there's no brown in this palette? Obviously, I have enough of a rudimentary understanding of color theory that I know what colors you can put together to make browns. Like, I can get some kind of a brown out of like that or like this. So, you know, or these, like, I can make browns out of this palette, but sometimes it's nice to have a brown to start with and then be like, do I want to modify this extant brown instead of trying to create one from, like, fully from scratch? But there we are. There's something now. I will say the book that I have received, am sad that slightly sad that I ordered it online and it arrived in the post, because that's nowhere near as romantic as getting to peruse the shelves of a beautiful old bookshop like this. But with that being said, it was very, very exciting when it arrived in my mailbox. That was amazing. And okay, the hilarious thing though, so I ordered it from World of Books, which is like a big secondhand book retailer. And I got a notification. So about 2 hours after I checked the post and it had arrived, 2 hours after it came through the post box, I got an email from World of Books saying, "Congratulations, your order has shipped." I was like, yeah, no shit, World of Books. I'm holding it. Hello? It was very funny. But yeah, I mean, in fairness, it has happened to me before where I have shipped an order from like my Ko-fi shop and just fully, by the time I get home from like taking it to the post box or the post office or whatever, I have fully and completely forgotten that there is an option on my shop site to mark it as shipped, and it will send a notification to the person who made the purchase to let them know that it's on its way. And so there have been times where like I've gotten like a DM or something be like, "Oh my god, it's amazing, thank you," or somebody posts a photo of like their new thing and I'm like, "I never marked that as shipped." And I'll just be like, "You're about to get a notification that your order shipped, but obviously it's already." So I mean, here's a shout out for my shop, because I'm bad at self-promoting, and I'm trying to be better about it, so that it exists. Anyways, so many complementary color options, says SB. I am in love with this palette. At first, when I first saw this palette, I was like, this is pretty basic in terms of like the array of colors that you get. I think I would rather something that's a little bit more kind of specialized, like limited palette style, like the 1930s palette is like there's no real that one is more brown. It's very autumnal. I don't think there isn't really like a true blue. There's like a teal, and then there's like a deep purple, but there isn't really just like a straight ahead blue, for instance. So it very sort of tends more towards sort of like warmer, sort of autumny colors, whereas this is the colors are still, I think, very interesting, but some of them are a little bit more like these two feel very sort of in fact, all of these three feel quite sort of like primary, though this one I think is, of these three, I think the most different to like a primary yellow. But like the rest of it, I still think is really, really cool. This is actually a very cool set of colors. I want to do more with this set of colors. My original idea for the piece that I was going to paint with them was more of sort of like a country garden setting, because we've got sort of some nice greens and teals and a lot of shades that I think would work really well for like wildflowers, or like, you know, like a brick cottage situation, something like that. And just, you know, sort of a quiet moment with some little guys kind of situation. But then I was just like, oh, but what if I painted an antiquarian bookshop? Oh, and then obviously I had to do that because I have zero chill when it comes to painting bookshops. And then I totally remembered that World Book Day was coming up, and wouldn't it be nice to do a book related painting for World Book Day, which absolutely I had in mind when I was coming up with this concept. It is a fortuitous and serendipitous coincidence that I happen to be working on this literary piece on World Book Day. But hey, happy World Book Day, everybody. Consider reading a thing. It's good for your brain. SB says, I recently discovered there's watercolor made with coffee. It actually smells like coffee too. I've heard of people painting with regular wine and coffee before, but not high quality paint made with it. Was just that is really that piques my interest, actually. Yeah, that's very cool. I do know that friend of the channel, Sammy Ann, if you're familiar with her artwork at all, she's done a raft of really gorgeous watercolors where she uses different types of tea to get different colors, and they always turn out looking, I think, quite very, very beautiful, very whimsical, and have a really nice quality to them. So tea is also something that you can straight ahead just paint with. In addition, I tend to just use paint. Those look like the Karatake watercolors, but with an orange box. They are Japanese watercolors. They are like Gansai. These come from Choosing Keeping, and they're made in Japan, and that's Japanese, so I can't read it. Actually, could I get I could probably get my phone's translator to translate that for me, but my phone is currently being used to film the stream, so I can't do it without switching off the camera. But yes, I'm going to take another sip of my beverage. Actually, see whether or not my tea is cold enough to sip yet. I feel like the sun's going down outside, but there's still quite a reasonable amount of natural light. But once we go to our first break, I might contemplate whether or not I want to switch on some interior light in the room, because right now the only light that I have on is the light above the painting. So yes, that's also a possibility, I guess. Anyways, thinking about how to paint this. I'm wondering if I might be able to I don't know if I can articulate what it is that I'm going to attempt to do right now, but I think I'm just going to attempt to do it. So I've taken a bit of this indigo, and I think I'm just going to kind of glaze over parts of the sort of backdrop of this. Of this bookshop, just to kind of deepen it just a smidge. And it's quite a bright brown at the moment. I wouldn't mind if it was just a little bit more subdued, so that the greenness, as it were, of the exterior just pops a little bit more. This is going to be I think a fairly subtle change, but hopefully a positive one in the long run. I'm hoping that I'm not just like royally screwing up the painting at the moment, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna scoot the swatches out of the way, because sometimes I just have to go sideways. Sometimes I just find it a lot easier to go sideways. This is one of them. So there's that. Yeah, I think that makes a little bit of a difference. I don't know if any other brand besides Karatake that makes Japanese watercolor. Was close to buying theirs from Michael's the other day. Ooh, nice. I do have one set from Karatake, and it is a it's like, it's not just like straight ahead watercolors. It's like the metallic set, but I do really enjoy them. So at the very least, from that perspective, do recommend. Hold up, I'll show you. Let me show you. Okay. I have this from Karatake, the Starry Color set. This was actually a gift from a friend of mine many, many years ago. They did not tell me they were buying this for me. They just gave me a heads up. They were like, by the way, expect something in the post today. And then this set of lovely shiny gold watercolors came in. And actually, I was considering whether or not I wanted to use some of these for a later portion of the painting. You see a lot of like old shop signs where they'll have like a dark backdrop and then the lettering is in gold. So I was considering whether or not I want to do that here, or whether that, like, the goldness is going to potentially draw too much attention away from the rest of the piece. I honestly don't know. And I haven't decided, which is why we have done nothing with the signs, because I do not know what to do with it. I've seen those before, says SB. They look so pretty. They are really nice. The one thing that I will say about these is that, and I think this is often the case with shiny watercolors, is that they want to go on top of another color instead of going on top of like just white paper. I find that if you want them to really sort of like blah, really stand out, really kind of pop out, I find it works really nicely to put them on top of a darker paint, either like black or sort of, so they work really well for something like a night sky, because they'll really kind of stand out, or something like that. Or even, I've done it before where, like, for instance, I have something that I just want to be like straight ahead gold, like a section of a painting that I want to be just like straight ahead gold, and I will find a color that's like similar to the color that I want, or use like possibly sort of a gold toned watercolor. Like I might use this yellow paint, or something different. Like if I'm using sort of maybe this and I want it to be a bit more silvery, I might put sort of a blue or like a violet under it to kind of enhance that. I find that really fun. But yeah, they are really nice to work with. They are the kind of paint that really you want to like wet them a bit before you go to use them. Like let the water sit on the paint pan that you want to use for like a minute or two to kind of activate it. And you'll get a more like you'll get a better result. Anyways, such is my experience with them. They are fun. Hello, Pale Peach. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you and welcome on in. Hello. I hope you are well as well. I am well. I'm feeling pretty all right today, I have to say. just making some attempts at some painting, and it's going. So far I've done very little, but I'm trying my best. Anyways, SB says so close to getting there. Graphite watercolors. Ooh, okay. I do not have the graphite watercolors from Kuretake, but I do have the graphite watercolors from Derwent, and they are fun and quite interesting. Very, if you want like muted colors, I think they work really, really well. At least the Derwent ones. It's an interesting range of muted colors. They're all very sort of like earthy feeling because there's that graphite in them, which does also give your final result a little bit of a sparkle, which is interesting. But weirdly, that set also doesn't include a brown for something that has a set of very earthy colors, and whenever I use it, I'm like, geez, I'm gonna have to mix up a brown. They can be a little bit temperamental, I find, but interesting and fun to work with for sure. SB says, I do have some black paper to go with my white ink. Hell yeah. I like when metallic colors show up on dark paper or paint. Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. I don't use dark paper very often, but having used like metallics or duochrome paints as well, I have, I think, 3 of the Daniel Smith duochromes, which are really fun to work with. I don't do a lot of them because I find it's really hard to display them online, and most of the time when I finish a painting, it gets kind of tucked away in a little file, and then I just post it online. So unless someone's buying an original from me, which is rare because I don't often sell my originals, though I mean in a lot of cases I could, though if I'm going to sell an original, I want to know that it's something that I've used the most light fast pigments possible with, and I don't always have the information as to whether or not a paint set is light fast. Like, I don't think this one didn't come with a light fastness rating, for instance, so I don't know how light fast these colors are. So I wouldn't sell this original. But I can scan it in and sell it as prints. And I might do if people like it. I don't know. Anyways, so that's that. Artwork looking awesome so far, says Pale Peach. Oh, Peach, thank you so much. That is so very kind of you to say. I'm very much in the sort of, does this look okay? Am I doing an adequate job phase of it? So I really appreciate that. Very much I do. Okay. Can I gray this out just a smidgen? I feel like it hasn't done in that bit of glaze on top of that hasn't quite done enough. So I'm going to try adding a little more. But I don't want it to be like pitch black, because if it's like pitch black, then that's going to draw way too much attention away from the rest of the scene. But I just kind of want to not have to paint in the entirety of the bookshop and just be able to kind of hold our focus on the front window display. And to that end, having that just recede a little bit more, be a little bit more grayed out, I think works for that. I think it does. Ooh. So is this the Americano and espresso paint? That's amazing. Unfortunately, I don't like the smell of coffee, says SB. Oh no. But I might try a bit of their 8ml tubes, so I don't think they might. That's very cool. I have no idea if that's available through any art retailers local to me, but I'm genuinely kind of tempted because that sounds really fun. All right, glaze, 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 like a little glazed donut. Look at that, delightful. Okay, happy with that. Yay. Okay, can I have a little less wet, please? We don't want it to be so wet that it wants to lift what we've already pick back up what we've already put down. I very much don't want to accidentally paint in these little lads. We're just having a nice time looking for books. And I love that for them. There we go. Oh, this feels so much better. That's feeling better to me. That's honestly really feeling better to me. I feel like that's okay. I was worried that it was going to skew like too dark and that was going to look funny. But I think it just, hopefully, unless I am very much mistaken, and at times I am indeed a mistaken little moose, it's just kind of letting the bookshelves in the window and these little lads hopefully charge forwards in the piece a little bit, and have you paying less attention to the the negative space that I really don't want to have to put tons of details into. So we can just assume that the interior of the shop is quite low lit. You know, maybe it's lit by little lamps here and there. It's very romantic. It's delightful. There's lots of little nooks and crannies to get lost searching for the perfect book, or I don't know, finding a book with that one poem that always makes your heart go a little bit like, oh, hello, and having a little moment with your loved one in the back of the bookshelves. Now, as someone who used to work in a public library, I do not recommend attempting to have a tryst in the back of the bookshelves at the library, because A, you will startle the staff who are not paid enough for that kind of shenanigans, and also B, it's dusty. It's so dusty in there. You don't want to be leaning against those shelves for long periods of time having smoochies. Just trust me on this. You do not. Anyways, I say this as someone who once again used to work in a library and has horror stories I will not repeat here because of TOS. Anyways. I'm going to take a sip of my second cup of tea. I have 2 cups of tea and an orange beverage, BT dubs. This is Deck Chair Dreaming. It is an herbal tea, not sponsored. So I shall not link it to you. You can go look for it yourself, the Bird and Blend, if you are watching this stream or this VOD for some reason and you are interested in some kind of partnership, sponsorship program, hit me up, because I would be a very good person to do that. Just saying. I've given you so much money. Anyways. Right. Public libraries are so important. They really are. Librarians are so important. Books are important. And anytime that like there's kind of in, you know, sort of in the news, in the zeitgeist, in practice of trying to diminish this or trying to defund this or trying to ban this, that, or the other, like this type of book is, you can't have that. I get unhappy about it, shall we say, because I'm very aware of how important these things are, having access to, you know, information. You know, you might think like, oh, well, it's all online. Well, you know, internet access can also go away, and physical media is good. I was just thinking, actually, sort of on a similar note, I was just thinking, I saw a Tumblr post the other day that was to do with obtaining or maintaining or sharing like pirated copies of media that is not available via any legal means is not, it's not piracy, it's archaeology. And I do think I have a very, very soft spot, shall we say, for like the importance of of seriously irritating my throat for some reason, of things like media preservation and media, like, archives and maintaining these things, both for, you know, like, books, obviously, but also things like TV, film, music, video games, any of those kinds of media. I think maintaining an archive of them is very important. The very idea of lost media is so sad and distressing to me. And so I find it really alarming that there's been a trend in the last few years of, like, streaming services, for instance, just, like, wholesale removing programs from the service, and it's not available anywhere. And they never made a physical release of that piece of media. They didn't release, like, a digital purchase, like you could just buy it on iTunes and download it onto your machine, anything like that. It's just available for streaming, and it's like, okay, well, that's great, you can just stream it, until they decide that you can't, and suddenly that thing is just gone, and you have no way of watching the thing, which is just, I don't like it. Like, deliberately making your material into lost media is crazy to me. Absolutely bonkers. You know, I mean, we had this back at the 60s, and what an absolute, like, disaster and tragedy it was, the amount of stuff that's still missing. You know, I developed a vested interest in this kind of thing because I used to be really into, like, old episodes of Doctor Who, and in the 1960s there's a lot of episodes of old Doctor Who, as well as, like, countless other TV programs that they just, after they figured at the time that, like, no one's ever going to be interested in repeats of this stuff. We're going to have to, like, pay to repeat this, so we don't really want to, yada yada yada. So they just wiped the master tapes of a whole bunch of stuff, thinking that, like, no one's gonna care about this. And, well, lo and behold, ding dongs, yes, they do. And, yeah, it turned out to be an incredibly short-sighted decision on their part that means that there are just stories that, you know, like, thanks to, you know, like, obsessive fans recording things on tape recorders off the TV, we have audio recordings of all of them, which is amazing. But, you know, they've had to go back and, like, create animated versions of them so they can release them on DVD and stuff now. It's just, it's a mess. It's a mess, and they shouldn't have done it. And the fact that, you know, there are people right now creating, like, you know, hey, here's an animated show I made for this streaming service in 2023. They've taken it off the streaming service now, so if you want to watch it, please pirate it. And if anyone has pirated a copy of this show, could you send it to me? Because I don't have one. Says, you know, the creator of the show. That's bonkers to me. That's absolutely ludicrous. Anyways, sorry. I will step off my soapbox now and reply to SB, who is in chat and has talking about paint, which is actually relevant. SB says, I quickly checked, and I don't think they sold a major art recently, at least the Aroma Coffee Collection. Ooh, they're a Canadian company. And it says shipping will be shown in Canadian dollars or euros. There could be other fees if shipping internationally. I am going to have a look at this after stream because that sounds really, really fun and cool. Thank you so much for sharing that info. Because that sounds wild and crazy, and I love it. Just having a sip of my solo. Yum, yum. Okay. I think this looks better. I do think this looks better. I think we have improved upon it, and I'm happy with that. Good. Now, this section over here, once again, I don't super want to draw a ton of focus to it, but I do want it to be, you know, just some nice details hanging over here. But what I'm thinking is that there are some doodads and bits in here that need a little bit more color. All of the color in this area is going to be brown. It's just, there's a lot of brown going on. We're in Brown Town, apparently. But it wants to be, I think, a slightly warmer brown. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of the orangey there, and we're going to add some of this peony to it. And then going to add some of this indigo to that, and hopefully that'll give us, because I've added that peony, which is sort of a warm purplish color, this should give us a slightly, it's definitely a grayish brown, but it's like a warmer grayish brown, which I think will work really well for us here. But before I add that, it occurs to me that one of the other things that I ought to do is to color in these little furnitures, and I think, to be honest, it should probably just be wood. Just a nice, comfy sort of wood color. So I'm just gonna a little bit of you, and make a slightly more sort of warmer orangey brown with a little bit of orange and some green. Good, good. Oh dang, that's so pale. I feel like that's maybe too pale, but it'll do. I'm gonna use the same brown for this, and then there's like a countertop back there, and I'm wondering if they would maybe want that to be like they've painted it like a nice sort of soft shade of like yellow or something. So that's just popping off down the distance. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Not the most exciting set of colors happening in here, but you know, it is whatever. Can I make this a slightly darker brown? I can. Okay, fab. And this also. This happy little counter. I've got the this little cake set on. Delightful. Okay. Well, now that needs to dry before I can sort of fill down the background a little bit as well. It's just looking a tittle bit too pale for me. So I want to adjust that slightly. I've also just noticed these two fellows are both in white shoes at the moment, which is not my intention. And I want to correct this. So first of all, I figure this guy's in a gray suit, so I feel like black shoes make sense. This guy's in a blue suit, so I'm thinking maybe brown. Maybe like a brown shoe for that makes the most amount of sense. We don't want to get too ridiculous. But I think maybe just some little happy little brown leather shoe with nice. What did I do to get black out of these colors? Because I also have no black paint. What did I do? Heck. If I just pick up just a butt ton of this, will that be close enough? It's a smidgen bluish, so maybe if I pick up just a little bit of you and just kind of overpaint it. There. Okay, well, you know what? It's got shoes. Anyways, if I decide to get them when I place a bigger order, says SB, I'll get mine through a subscription box service in the US, so the shipping will be a lot better. Ooh, hell yeah, love that for you. This is slightly more expensive in USD, not surprising. Which was surprising since they're harder to get here. Oh, interesting. I mean, if it's coming from like abroad, I'm not surprised that they might be more expensive. As is my experience. Oh, speaking of, I was looking at getting myself something somewhat expensive this month, and then I realized I made the mistake of looking at my banking app, and the answer is no. No, I'm not allowed to buy anything this month. Oh no. Oh, beans. I guess I'd better... It was some clothing, so I guess I'd better get faster at hand sewing, because I'm not allowed to buy myself anything now. Oh, no. Whoops. So, yeah, that was a fun development. Love that for me. Oh, no. Anyways. What is life if not just a parade of everything is too expensive all of the time. And being a person is really hard. I don't know. But it's stinky. Okay, I think I can use you now. I think I can. I don't know if there's enough paint. I think I can squeeze enough paint out of my brush for this. Hopefully this is enough of a somewhat more subdued, shadowy color that it feels a bit less weirdly too bright, I guess. I'm gonna very quickly wrap this up, and then we're gonna take a super quick BRB. Whereupon I will disappear for a couple of minutes. You'll get to see the BRB screen. You might see some ads, for which I apologize, but unfortunately, I cannot change this. So I hope that's okay. But you won't miss anything in the meantime. So, it's all good. So please enjoy the BRB song in the meantime. Grab yourself a beverage, have yourself a stretch, do all that jazz, and I'll be back in just a minute. So here's the BRB screen. Is the BRB song playing? It is playing. Okay, fabulous. Well, in that case, friends, a BRB. Hello, I'm back. Hi. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Oh, piss pots. Are you kidding me? No. Okay. Let's just give this a second. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's fix this. I do apologize. It's being really difficult at the moment. I don't know why. It just likes to die on me, especially if we're taking a break. So rude. But we'll get it back up in just a second. Elg, please. Thank you. Okay. Launching my camera thing, launching my other camera thing. We should be back in the room in just a second. Is it? Yes, it should be back. Okay. Wizard. Darn rude indeed. It's very rude. Don't like it. There you go. Hello. We're back. Now, I'm gonna quickly sip my tea, which is... It's hard for me to show you without making a mess, but it is indeed in a Halloween-themed mug. I think you can just about see that it says, boo, and there is a bat, and some pumpkins. Because, you know, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's never not that time of the year. So, there you go. Anyways. And you know what? I'm right, so. Heck. If I were to just, I'm just taking elements that I have on my palette now and just being like, what if I just add these to each other and what'll happen? I'm just futzing around and finding, I'm in the, oh, who cares, let's just futz around and find out stage of the painting at this point, I think. Okay. You know what? I think it looks better. I mean, this all looks very abstract and scruffy, but, you know, I'll do soft line weights on it, later. So, don't let's be too concerned with how scruffy it looks at the moment. Let's just ignore that. And move on to, what shall I say? Greener pastures, because I want to add some details to the greenery here. Anyways. It's still cool outside, says Espy. Practically autumn. Yes, exactly. That's entirely how it works, and not that... I mean, it might be... You might be moving towards autumn if you're... If you're in the southern hemisphere, you might be moving towards autumn, so, you know. But then if you live in the southern hemisphere, Halloween is in spring. So... my line of thinky thought is falling apart here. Oh no. It's not just that, you know, if you live in, say, like, if you live in New Zealand, it's not that you celebrate, um, Halloween in like April instead of October. Personally, I feel like there should be at least 4 Halloweens a year, one for every season. Do I want just an excuse to dress up in an outfit and feel silly and spooky and eat uh and eat pumpkin muffins? I mean, yes. Yes. Spooky lilacs and greenhouses, says SB. Oh, you're giving me ideas for things I could paint. Just, I don't know, maybe like a little ghost out in their garden in spring doing some gardening or something. That would be cute. But also a little bit spooky, a little bit Halloweenical. Oh, could you imagine? A vampire holding a large parasol. Anyways, hello, Tals. How are you doing? Welcome on in. It is wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are well. I'm remaining in the consideration phase of how I want to handle some of the bits in this piece, but I think we're getting there. I do want to. I realize there's like a doormat here that probably wants to be like a color of some kind. I feel like the kind of just like a dark grayish is probably the best choice for a little like welcome mat like that, because it's where you wipe your feet when you're coming into the cafe on a rainy day, aren't you? But yeah, as we says, we love getting art ideas from Random Ideas. Oh, Biddle Boy, it's my favorite. It's where many of my art ideas come from. And then I'll immediately forget them afterwards, which is great also, because then I'll be like, I have no ideas from what to paint. It's like you brainstormed a gazillion things yesterday, you dingbat. You just don't remember any of them. Anyways, Espy's getting breakfast and maybe a shower. My mom's coming back from a trip soon. Oh, very nice. Have a lovely lurk and enjoy your morning. Thank you for hanging out. Okay, so a couple of things that I need to think about here. Again, I need to think about what I'm doing with these 2 signs. I think this sign probably wants to be like a lighter color than this one. It feels a little bit more sort of bright and sprightly, of sort of a coffee place, a bit more kind of modern-ish. But I'm not sure what color goes with their kind of yellow exterior. And I mean, I could just make it also be yellow, but I think I want it to be something that maybe contrasts a bit. Ooh, maybe if I do like a really light blue, that could be nice. That could be nice. Maybe a slightly like lavendery blue. I'm gonna mix it up and see how it looks. This blue is very, the blue in this palette is very, very vibrant. So we're not going to need a lot of it. And I just want to warm it up a smidge. And then soften it right down. Okay, let's try. Let's see. Something that just says, a calm and pleasant morning. Come have a coffee and also buy a loaf of sourdough bread. And maybe a pain au chocolat. If you're feeling spicy. They do also do a gluten-free muffin. It's surprisingly good. Anyways. OSB's back. They say, I want to make my own art prompts and have homemade color palettes so I don't have to buy them, but I can hold them physically. I love making my own palettes. I've been messing with that for a while now, and it's very, very fun, and also allows you to create, I think, some quite interesting colorways. I would love to try my hand at just, like, making paints from scratch with, like, the pigments and the binders and doing all... I shouldn't do that. I should not be buying my own, like, gum Arabic and mixing it with my own pigments. That sounds like a nightmare. And I will do a terrible job, make a mess, and spend way too much money. Yay! But I can buy paints and mix them together, so hey, you know what? That's good enough, probably. This pale blue is so subtle, I almost feel like it's too subtle, so I'm gonna give it another pass. I feel like it wants to match the yellowness of the exterior in terms of its, like, intensity, I think. So it wants to be a little deeper. Okay. That's closer, but I think it can, I think we can push it a little further, actually. And what I might do, because I'm feeling genuinely insane now, is I'm like, what if I just fully changed the temperature of it? So, hello! I'm dropping patina on top. And we're gonna go from a sort of a warmish lavender blue to duck egg. Do I like that? I think it needs the rest of the painting before I know whether or not I like it. I think that's what we need. But hey, you know what? I think it's a start. I think it's better than when it was just white. So we'll keep working on it. This really is one of those paintings where like it's just 85% looks like butt. And I just need to keep pushing until it no longer looks like butt. That's the answer. That's the only answer. Oh, which is the most frustrating of answers, obviously, because that's a struggle, but, you know, hey. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Okay, I'm picking up an absolute boatload of this green, which is a very lovely, vibrant green. Because I'm a silly sausage. I want to make some shadows with it, so I've added just a little bit of its complement to kind of just bring down the vibrancy a little bit for those shadowy sections. SP's also looking for gum arabic. Oh boy, yep. That is something that's very much on hold for me at the moment because I've just got too much else to do. I've got a few more things that I would like to add to the shop, so I need to work on actually getting those ready. And then in addition, I've also got just some other projects that I need to get done at the moment. Like there's the YouTube video that I still need to finish. I'm really hoping. My hair looks amazing at the moment, so I'm hoping I might be able to actually do some filming tomorrow after stream. But I also have a date that evening, which will take some time, and is also something that I am very much keen to prioritize because I am in love. And it's lovely. SB says I wanted to make custom watercolors, but I just bought tubes of watercoloring gouache, so I'll focus on getting a nice metal tin to put them in. You know what? That's probably a good idea. I'm just gonna put it out there that buying art supplies is a different vocation to actually painting. And they're both valid. But at the moment, I'm trying to be very aware of the fact that I have just a butt ton of paints. Some of the paints I have, I feel like I've kind of grown out of a little bit, in as much as I don't, having worked with other better quality paints in the meantime, I'm like, I don't really want to work with this because I don't actually think it looks that good. But you know, that's the learning curve of like the artist's journey, is that sometimes you grow out of some of your supplies because you find that actually, you know what? There's other stuff that does this better that I could be using instead. So here we are. Okay, sorry. Focus. I'm focused. I'm just getting these lines in. Okay, just making it feel a little bit less flat. Which I think is important and good. Now there's a little bit of a recess here. So what I'd like to do is this area here, and also I think this like upper portion here. And just darken that down just a little, just a smidgen to give it a little bit more thingness. A little more thingness, I guess. What are words? I don't know them. Listen, I'm trying my best. Shut up. I want to paint in the area of that sign. And for that, I think what I want to do is, once again, this in a stun move that will absolutely shock you, gonna make a kind of gray-brown color, which I think will work here. Let's see how the intensity of that looks. I might end up, I don't like to do this super often, but I might end up actually going over doing some like highlight on the lettering in like white ink. Mostly because I have a reference that I kind of drew from as a vague inspiration for this piece, and that's what they do with their lettering on their sign. And I really like the way that it looks. So I might end up doing that here. Even though normally I don't like... I prefer just sort of using the like purely additive nature of watercolor and not going in and putting highlights in afterwards like I would if I was using like ink or gouache or something like that. But sometimes you think, that might look cute. Or I might prefer the more subtle approach of just putting like black on top of this brown. And I think that like there's a weatheredness to this brown that I think is going to work really well for a shop of rare and antiquarian books. Perrin, thank you so much for the lurk. I hope you're having a wonderful lurk. Have a lovely lurk. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you, my friend. Hello, hello. And thank you for the lurk. Very much appreciated. But anyways, what was I saying? World Book Day, antiquarian bookshop. These two little guys just being the ding-dang cutest. Espy says, probably a blessing in disguise that Joanne Fabrics didn't have many good deals on art supplies when I went there. I didn't even know that they sold art supplies. That's neat. For going out of business, you'd think they could do better than 20 and 10% off on list prices that are similar to other places. Sometimes one wonders if maybe that's why they're going out of business. But yeah, I often find that, like, store closing down sale, and then you go in, it's like 10% off everything. I'm like, I probably would have picked up some stuff that I didn't already want or need just because it was on discount, but not if it's like 20% max. That's just me unnecessarily spending money then. I actually got an email from a clothing shop that I bought something from years and years ago earlier today to say that they're closing their doors for the moment, and they don't know when they're coming back. So they've got like a sale on. But when I say they've got a sale on, they've legit got an everything is between like 40 and 70% off sale. The only thing is I don't really want or need any new clothes at the moment that are not things that I'd kind of like to make myself, so it doesn't seem wise for me to be investing in that kind of thing in that case. Trying to not spend money on things when I don't, need to spend money on things if at all possible. Just because, well, then I've spent money on a thing that I didn't need to. And that feels bad, man. All right. I want to get some of this kind of detail over on the this guy as well. So, going to pick up some of my beautiful sunshine yellow. Like so. And oh, excuse me. Just a hair's breadth of something to make it a little shadowy, but oh no, that's so strong. That's just made it like gray. So I'm gonna have to add more yellow again. That's the trouble with when you've got pigments where, you know, one of them is like way more potent than another. And you wind up in a situation where you're just like, okay, I just want to add a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit of blue to this to kind of mute it down a little bit. And then suddenly all you have is blue. Or like, I just want to warm up this just a little bit, so I'm just going to put a tiny little dot of red. And then now it's just red paint. It's like, I'm tired. I have this one green watercolor in my sort of watercolor tubes that is this that is a green. It's Helio Green is the name of it, and oh my goodness, it overpowers anything that you try to blend it with. It is so stupidly intense. Compare that to the most similar green, like existent green that I have to it, which is Viridian, which everything else overpowers. It's like I have the two polar opposites of green. I have the green that eats every other color and the green that is eaten by every other color. I feel like I should just take the two tubes and just mix them together into like the average green. I feel like that's the only way I can get it to work. Cause both of them are kind of a pain in my backside. One of them for just like absolutely murdering any other color you want to blend it with. And the other one for absolutely getting murdered by anything you want to blend it with. Both of these are annoying. But I mean, as once you know how a color behaves in terms of like how heavily pigmented is this, what does it do, when yada yada yada, it makes it a lot easier to manage that, at least when you know what to expect from a paint. You know, for instance, like Potter's Pink. I love Potter's Pink. I think it's this beautiful, like subdued brownish pink color. Absolutely heckin' gorgeous. Just a delight, right? But the trouble with Potter's Pink is that it is a very faint pigment. Very faint. So, it's quite difficult to like build any vibrancy in it. Which again is, you know, like if you're aware of it, then at least, well, you're aware of it, so that's good. But still kind of annoying. Anyways, oh boy, SP says the Liquitex basic paints. Okay, most of them are in the store $6.49 with 20% off, so $5.19. But on their website, they have them listed as $5.99 for 10% off, which is $5.39. That's too. Why are they different? That's stupid. Like no shade for this. Stupid. That's deeply stupid of them. I'm very sorry. Very sorry that you're having to deal with that, because that sounds like a real pain in the backside. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done with those details, so now it's time for the book spines, which is gonna take me a while and scary. So why don't I get on with that and see how we get on with that, shall we? I think that's all there is to it. Okay. Let's do it. Cool. I'm trying to make them each a little different. Which is always a fun challenge. I'm just basically trying to do like a color at a time. So I'm starting with all of the books that have yellow spines. I'm giving them little, just funky little book spine details. Things that make it look like, hey, this is a book, you know? I try not to get too carried away with the details that I put onto book spines, but I do want them to feel like they could be a book. Because that's obviously what they're meant to represent, so, you know. I would rather that they represented that in some way. There we go. Okay, we have our yellow books, except for the book cover. Wasn't sure what to do with the book covers. Because that's a whole other kettle of... that's the title of the book by so-and-so. Yay. Okay, easy enough. This is a very basic book cover. I think a lot of these will be fairly basic book covers. With just, you know, sort of like a title and an author's name. I don't want to go in for like detailed pictures on these teeny tiny rectangles, because can you imagine trying to get like an entire illustrated book cover onto one of these, which is smaller than my fingernail? I can't just pinch zoom. Why do I do this to myself? You may well ask. What's that? What's that? You are asking? I don't know. I haven't the foggiest. Tal says, antiquarian books often have simple covers, so it works. Thank you. I thought so. I want to keep it nice and simple. I want us to feel like, wow, there's an abundance of interesting books here. But thank goodness you didn't go overboard with giving them, like, they've all got big pictures on the front. You know, imagine if this store were selling Warhammer Combat Patrol. Trying to paint in all that. I think that no. Speaking of minis, however, I have a figurine that my moderator/spouse bought me for Christmas, and at some point I need to do a painting stream for it. Needs to be primed first, and I'm nervous, so I haven't done it yet. But I'm very excited to do it. It's a little guy. I wonder if I can actually find it and show you what it looks like. Let me see if I can procrastinate actually finishing this painting for another second by seeing if I can find it. Because why not? Where's my little dude? Which one's my little dude? Oh, hell yeah, there he is. I would like you to look at this little guy, because he's very cute, and I'm very excited to get to do him in glorious color. I will probably not do the same colors as the ones that they like suggest here, because I like doing my own thing, but it's very cute. It's just a little guy. It's just a little druidy guy doing some magic. And I think it's very cute. So yeah, I'm excited to get to paint that. So stinking cute. Tal says, or torture yourself by painting super detailed colors, including hand-lettered titles and author names, as you wish. I'm gonna not do that, because you know, I may seem like a glutton for punishment in as much as I do all of these little bookie covers and what have you, but blah 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 blah. Bye. Blah. There we go. Okay, nice and straightforward. It was fun, says Tals. I know. I have another little guy from the same range. Hold up. Who I painted a while back on stream, who's just been hanging out over here, who I love the way this guy turned out. He's so silly. He's a little fisherman goblin, and I had a really fun time painting him in. I just want to... Oh, there was just a random piece of gubbins on his base. Sure, why not? My moderator/spouse actually made the base for this, which is a little riverbank, which I think turned out super cute. But most importantly, I couldn't really tell based on the thing what he was wearing. So personally, I made the decision to put him in jorts. And I loved the way that the little jorts turned out. They've got little stitching on like the back pockets. Very cute. I gave him some tattoos as well on his arms and his foot. Yeah. He's just a little guy. It was very fun to do as well. It's I'm not used to painting things in that number of dimensions. It's a very different skill set to painting onto paper, obviously, but it is very, very fun. And I like the scale of these like Rascal Town figurines. That's the name of the range. And I like this scale because they're a little bit bigger than like a lot of the standard sized miniatures, so I find it easier to get a lot of like tiny details in there without utterly torturing myself. So to that end, I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in on the next one as well. I hope it turns out cute. So we'll see. But I think that'll be a lot of fun. Oh, excuse me. I do apologize for the coughs, incidentally. It seems to come with the territory of doing a lot of talking these days, which is a little annoying, but here we are. Yum. Okay. I'll do red books next, I think. I've done all of the yellow books. So I'll do some red books next. Give them some fun and interesting details. Now I noticed that I don't remember what combo of colors I used to get to that shade of red for the book covers, but it's definitely not just this red, because it's quite a bright, it's not quite primary red, but it's a very bright, bold red. So for this detail, I've just popped a little bit of indigo into it, which is sort of this grayish blue color, and it's just kind of just muting things down a smidge, which I think will work well here. Okay. That is quite dark, in fact. Did I make that too dark? Oh, I don't know. Not much I can do about it at this point. Except do that and see if it... And it didn't really. No, that's fine. I think it'll be okay. I think it's okay. I'll use a fairly light hand here. And, there we go. And oftentimes I do find with certain paints that things dry down lighter than sort of when they begin, which is interesting. Doot, doot. And the blah of blah 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 by so-and-so. Perfect. Delightful. Oh, excuse me. There's one last one hanging out over here. Doot doot. Doot doot. And this needs a title as well. Bloody bloody blah. Bloody bloody blah. Bloody bloody. Second edition. There we go. Perfect. So that's our red books for the moment. So we can move on to our blue books maybe, then the green ones, and then the brown ones, I guess. Okay. Just pick up a little bit of that blue puddle so it's maybe not too concentrated. We want the details to be visible, but again, we don't want it to be like the focal point of the piece. Really, what I want you to kind of notice first is these two little guys. So these guys are going to get some attention in a minute, and we'll see if we can kind of punch up their whole deal. Specifically, I'm wondering if it's possible at all for me to put a little, like, flower or something in this guy's buttonhole, just because I think that's so cute. I think he'd look so stinking handsome. Maybe he picked out a flower for him and was like, "Here, I think this would be nice," and it's all pretty, and it's and I don't know where that sentence was going. I'm gonna sip my tea. I'm sorry. Anyways, Wonderful. Okay. Anywho, whilst I have this blue on my brush, there's some detail I want to pop in this area down here, because I want it to be clear that it's like tile work. There's a little like mosaic of tiles there. So I want to make sure that you can see those. Okay. There's another, tiny little blue book here. Tiny little blue book. And there's another one here. And what's on the cover? Doodly-doo. Doodly-doo. It's called Doodly-doo by the author Doodly-doo. Oh god, I'm so stupid. I'm a silly sausage, but whatever. There we go. Right. What's for tonight's dinner? I think I'm making, it's kind of aubergine parm, except it's pasta. Basically, that's the name of the dish. My moderator / spouse and I both were just kind of like, oh, what if aubergines, though, when we were at the supermarket, and so we bought some aubergine, and I thought it'd be nice to do a little pasta situation with them. So that's precisely what I intend to do. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good. And tomorrow night we're going out on a date, but I know not where we are going on a date. We may be going to the pub, where I'm hoping there's food I can eat, because when you can't eat wheat, your options in British restaurants start to diminish. Especially when you also can't eat meat and mushrooms, and you're just not the kind of person who wants to go out and have a salad for dinner. Like, I just don't want to go out and have a salad for dinner. And oftentimes, and then they put croutons on the salad, which I shouldn't eat. Like, I'll probably be okay having some croutons, but, you know, should I? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So that's where I'm at. I appreciate the existence of, like, rice-based cuisines. Because I know I can eat them. Also Ethiopian food. Oh man. Oh, there is an Ethiopian restaurant not far from my moderator / spouse's, like, regular day job, but he's not working from there this week. If he was, I would be like, let's see if we could book a table there, because the food's amazing, and it is extremely wife safe in as much as most of it's vegetarian and it's entirely wheat free. No. Oh well, we'll be back there at some point soon, I am sure, because it is, as I say, it's delightful. I am very much an Ethiopian food enjoyer. But yes. Right. Continuing to the green books. Shall we green books? Let's green books. Okay. So for the green books, I think what I did was like a mix of our like straight ahead, the color of grass, and a bit of this patina, because it's looking kind of teal. So let me see if I can add a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and see how that shakes out. Is it working? That could actually be darker. I could add more paint to that, I think. Because the green book covers are already quite saturated, so I would like, you know, what I do to them to preferably be visible. Visibility in general, if I'm painting things in, not always, but oftentimes kind of a priority. Sometimes it's more like, I know you're not going to see this in the finished product, but like, I will know that it's there and it has enhanced this in some way. And that's also, you know, an important point that exists, I think. There we go. Okay, that's all the... Oh, shoot, I missed this one. I missed this one. And I'll just do the title in the green as well. Doodly-doo. Okay, cool. All right, we have the green book, so it's just the brown now. I need to find, where's my brown blob? My brown blob is a horrific mess and not very useful at the moment, so I'll have to kind of remix it, make more of it. I'm just mixing together the orange with like the indigo blue because that seems to work well for an understated brown situation. I always find it interesting when I've done like a number of paintings with a certain like palette or set of paints and I look at like, okay, what colors have I used the most out of these? And what colors have I really kind of neglected? And it's always kind of interesting because it's not necessarily my favorite colors that I end up using the most of. Like, I can already see that, like, this color, this one seem to be getting the most use out of the set. Maybe this one to a certain extent, but, like, this and this and this less so. Even though I would say in terms of like personal preference of like aesthetically what my favorite color is, it's probably this one, and I've barely used that, which is really interesting, I think. And you know, like what drives these trends? I guess it's a case of like which colors are genuinely the most useful, especially if you're having to mix colors together to make other things. Which ones are ones that blend well together to create other colors that you might need to use. And those ones will probably get a greater amount of usage. But I'm just going to put the title just kind of going in that direction because, you know, sometimes they get creative. They do interesting things like that, so like why not? Okay, I think that's it for that portion of the book doing. Ha! Hooray! I think I can move on to doing like the lines and stuff now. Phew. So that's a relief. Okay. And to that end, I'm gonna... Should I just since I've got this brown blended up here already, should I just do the outlines of these little book spines? I figure why not? We're already here. We may as well continue doing that. Okay. Cool. I'm hoping there will come a time in the near future when this looks good. I do feel like it's developing. I feel like it's getting there. I hope it's getting there. Sometimes it really is hard to tell, like at the outset, is this going to look good? Sometimes I'll have a sketch and be like, oh damn, this is going to look amazing. And then I paint it and I'm like, wow, well that did not conform to my vision at all. What the hell is this? Oh no. And then I feel sad. And I'm sure I'm not the only artist that goes through that, where they're like, well, I'm just gonna have to delete my art and start over. I've done things on stream before where I'm like, oh god, this turned out bad, y'all. I don't like how this turned out. And then that ends up just being a piece that I just never post anywhere. That's fine. It's all part of the experience of being an art doer. Sometimes you gotta delete your art. That's okay. Anyways. Right. Okay. Do-do-do. Sorry, I'm getting quiet. I'm concentrating. I'm trying to think if I have like a fun question for chat. I don't know. My brain is porridge at the moment, I think. But I've been really looking forward to streaming today, so I'm very happy to be doing it. Very happy to be doing it. In fact, I've been looking forward to it since, like, I finished stream on Monday. I did do a little bit of artwork yesterday. I sketched out an idea for a piece that I want to, at some point in the near future, that I want to do. That was effectively the idea that I had for a painting before I came up with this idea for a painting, which was to do a little sort of like cottagey, gardeny scene with these paints. So that will likely be happening at some point in the fairly near future, but I'm not sure when. But I think that would be a nice thing to do. So, in the meantime, I'm going to slightly amend this brown with a little bit of you. That's a lot bit of you. Uh-oh. Hold on. No, that's too much. It's like, that's like red. It wants to be reddish brown, so let me just amend that slightly with a little bit of this. That's better. That's much better. Okay. Did I just recreate what the brown looked like before? No, it's completely different, damn it. Let me have that, okay? Just getting some nice little outlines of the bookshelves themselves. There we go. Okay. Cool. Anywho. I gotta say, I don't know, is World Book Day? Does anyone know? Is World Book Day like a British thing? Or is it like a reasonably new thing? Because I'd never heard of it until I moved here, and like, everyone I knew with kids would post photos of the, of like their kids dressed up as characters from like their favorite book or something. But it's nothing I'd ever seen in Canada. And when I was in Canada, I worked in a library, so presumably I would have heard if there was a thing where like all of the kids, like every kid was coming in dressed up as like, I don't know, something like the Cat in the Hat, or one of the members of the Babysitters Club. I'm trying to remember books. I'm trying to remember children's books, and I'm like, the Babysitters Club? Do they still read the Babysitters Club? Completely different, says Talis. By the name, it should be a world thing, but is it? That's what I'm curious about. I genuinely don't know. Am I Googling it? No-ish. Not Wordle. World Book Day. World Book Day. Google search. Okay. Yeah, so it's called World Book Day, but it's an event held annually in the United Kingdom and Ireland, which is like, that's not the world. That's a fairly, if you look at the location of the United Kingdom and Ireland on a world map, they're like basically neighbors. They're separated by a small body of water. And they don't take up a lot of the world. So that probably explains why I hadn't heard of World Book Day in Canada. Because it's more like UK and Ireland Book Day. But, you know, hey, if it encourages kids to, like, read and stuff, I am here for it. I'm extremely here for it. Tell says, sort of like the World Series of Baseball. Oh yeah, the World Series of Baseball is the US and like one Canadian team, if memory serves correctly. It's just the World Series in baseball is just America and like the Toronto team. I think that's it. There might be new ones now. I believe it or not, I have never kept up with baseball. I was aware of the fact that Toronto had a team because there was a period of time in the 90s when we were legally required to care about them. Samantha says the UK and Ireland is the entire world. How many countries could there possibly be? Okay, let me think. Well, there's Canada. There's the States. There's Belgium. I've been to that one. There's France. I've been to that one. There's Denmark. Been to that one. There's Japan. My in-laws come from there. My family, my mother emigrated from Hungary in the 50s. I know someone from Zimbabwe. So, what's that? 8 countries? There's 8 countries in the world. There we go. Yes, correct. I studied Italian at university. But I mean, that's mostly so I can understand the names of foods. Anyways, go Jays, says Stells. Hell yeah, go Jays, I guess. You know, my general feeling when it comes to, like, sports ball teams is as long as everyone tries their best and has fun, that's really the only important thing to me. And apparently when you say this to sports fans who are really invested in their team doing real good, that makes them angry and they think you're being sarcastic. Anyways. Right, I'm taking a sip it. That is to say a small sip and not like a crouton or small piece of toast. Which I was so confused when I found out that sippets is not like a sippet is not just like a very little sip, because it sounds like it should be a very little sip. When I say I'm gonna have a sippet, I mean that, but then I found out that a sippet is like a little bit of like toasted bread that, you know, you like dip things into, or you dip into things, or maybe you put them in your soup or something like that. And I'm like, but you can't sip that because it's a solid food. Why would you call it a sippet? A sippet is a little sip. When you're having just a little beverage and you want to have a teeny tiny little sip. You know, when someone pours you a teeny tiny amount of wine and you're not sure whether or not you're going to like it, so you have a sippet. That's what a sippet is to me. Anyways. But on the other hand, you know, what the flip do I know? Apparently nothing. I mean, we all know that I know nothing. There's nothing new about that. Anywho. Oh, I thought I was done with the brown. I'm not done with the brown. I only did one of the bookshelves. Oh, flip. Okay. Hold up. It's trying to dry out. No. Stay with me, buddy. Stay with me. Come on. You've got so much to give. And I need it. There we go. Oh, doesn't that look delightful? At least I hope it does. Anyways, is this all going to look a little scruffy and imperfect? Yeah, probably. I have no idea. I think it just did a you're going to. Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, did it just do we're gonna jump into ads countdown? And no, it didn't, because it literally just started the we're gonna jump into ads countdown. But I've got a couple minutes before I have to leave you momentarily for the BRB screen. So I'm gonna continue on. Sally Fourth, Beethoven's Fifth, Colin Baker. Anyways. Until it kicks us into an ad break that I am unable to skip, and my profuse apologies for that. But do bear in mind that every time you sit through an ad break on stream, you're not missing any content, because I stop doing whatever it is I'm doing for the duration of the ad break. And also, I get like 10 cents per stream. And, listen, that all adds up, and eventually I'll have enough to maybe buy a new paintbrush, but it's unlikely. However, that does catapult me into the realm of professional streamer, because technically technically I do get paid to do this. Anyways. And if you absolutely hate ads and refuse to see them, there are ways to get around it, but unfortunately that does involve you paying monies, so that is very much entirely up to you. But once again, I do try and make sure that things are scheduled in a way such that if ads are running, you are not missing any of the action, because I would feel really lousy about that. So, yeah. Feel like the bookshelves are getting there. They're starting to look a little bit less like the absolute boo-boo garbage. So, you know, that's good. That is progress, as 'twere. So, happy with that. I've got 50 seconds. Oh, geez. Do I have enough time to do all of the red books? I'm going to try. You know what? I'm going to gosh dang try. I'm going to give it my very best. Don't worry. I'm not going to rush it and make them look bad as a result. But sometimes it is kind of fun to try and employ the old speedrun strats in the painting. Speaking of, when we're done with Dadish 3 on Friday's stream, because I will be playing some more Dadish 3 tomorrow on stream, when we finish that game, I would like to go back to my Slowpoke's attempt at a Hollow Knight's speedrun. So you've got that to look forward to. Okay, let's go. I've got like 2 seconds, then we're going to go on to BRB. So let me just finish this up. One more. Okay, I got a BRB, everybody. I will be back very shortly. Please enjoy the BRB screen in the meantime. BRB. Well, hello, I'm back. Yay! Oh, the camera's still working. Oh, how exciting. So I got some exciting post in the post. Strategically placed hand, so you can't see any of our addresses. I think I know what this is. So I'm unboxing it on stream. Because, oh, it is what I think it is. Oh, this is exciting. This is an order from friend of the channel, Patsy Peach, who, if you're not familiar, is delightful. And also recently released a shop update, and I was like, oh, I've been waiting for some of these stickers to appear in your shop, my friend. And I will show you why. Because they are just delightful. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh, look at the... Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Thank you for supporting my work. Of course, Patsy, my dear friend. Absolutely delightful. Super cute. Look, it's a little business card. But look at it. So stinking cute. That is so stinking cute. I love it. I love it. Patsy Peach. Anyways. Patsy Peach is the name. You should go give them lots of love and support. And here's what hello, darling. Here's what I ended up with. This is how your email finds me. Anytime someone says, "I hope this email finds you well," this is how it finds me. Yep, sounds about right. This is me in my ADHD shirt. And just for the sake of completeness, this is me in my autism shirt. They're so cute. I love them so much. This is okay. There are cookies in the sewing kit. The one time that I opened up one of these tins of like the Royal Danish butter cookies, and it was cookies and not sewing supplies, I was so confused. I mean, they are delicious, but so confusing. Where are the sewing supplies? Anyways, and then this La Pièce de Résistance that I feel in my heart. My tummy hurts, but I'm being really brave about it. I love this sticker so much. It's so relatable. Ooh, what's that, sweetheart? That is some sort of corn. What is it? More turkey. Oh, I love you. My moderator / spouse has bought a food that we love and brought it home, and that's very exciting as well. But anyways, yeah, so those are my new stickers from Patsy, who does really, really lovely, adorable artworks, and is just a very sweet person as well. So if you like any of that stuff, let me hold up. patsypeach.card. Okay, I'm going to drop a link to Patsy's sort of landing page in case you want to go check out any of her works, because she is a lovely, lovely human being. There we go. Hopefully that works. Anyways, Roll says, "Hell yeah, peach cuteness. Those cookies are so good. I just never expect to see them inside their own tins. I don't even know where you get them. I just see them in people's houses, and I know, aha, this is where I need to go if I need, like, you know, an embroidery needle or a button or something." Oh my goodness. Okay, so done the bookshelves. I've done the little brown books. I've done I think I just need to do the green books now, and then the bookshelves are just about done, except the little tickets. The little tickets I still need to do. But other than that, I think we're actually just about done with the bookshelves, which is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm not complaining, it's just wild. Okay. Oh, I haven't done the blue books either, never mind. No, I've got lots to do. I'm just silly. Okay. Anyways, but yes, they, there we go. Visibility, we love to see it. In fact, the only things that we can see are things that are invisible, or that are visible, I should say, not things that are invisible are the things we can't see. That's the whole point. I get them at the supermarkets, this roll. Well, I did before gluten decided to kill my tummy. That is a mood roll. I forgot about that. I really shouldn't be eating those. Because yeah, I likewise roll. We are siblings in wheat-related tummy trouble solidarity. I'm very fortunate, as much as it seems like I can still have, like, rye bread okay, but, like, just wheat bread, like a bowl of pasta, I will die. So I've been discovering all of the, like, gluten-free things you can get at the supermarket, including pasta, which I'm very grateful is edible. Bagels, also edible. Some pretty decent tiger rolls, which are nice, and these Viennese biscuits dipped in chocolate that, it is unfair how delicious they are, because it's also like £3 for a pack, and I swear there's only like 8 in a packet of them, which is really expensive. Listen, okay, if I were to buy a thing of, like, let's say, supermarket value range ginger nut biscuits, which I love, but I cannot eat now. They cost less than £1, and it's like a pretty substantial amount compared to, but paying like £3 for like 8 biscuits. I could get 3 times as many biscuits for 65p if I could digest wheat properly, you know? Consequently, I feel like I'm eating quite healthy now, but on the other hand, going to the supermarket just feels really sad, because there's just, like, aisles and aisles of things, and it's just, there's a big sign over them that's just like, "Not for you. No, 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 no." And I'm like, this is me. Also, going out for meals is a pain in the backside. But yeah, Roll says, gluten-free food is not bad and pretty easy to find, but it's expensive. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's more, a lot of the, not all of it, like, some of the bread is decent, and some of the pasta is decent in terms of price, I find, but some of it is like, okay, well, there's one less bagel in this, and it costs twice as much as the regular bagels. Okay. So bagels are a sometimes treat, basically. Which is fine, you know, and honestly, again, probably for the best, all things considered, because bagel's not necessarily the healthiest food. But delicious? Oh yes, definitely delicious. Right, blue books. Blue books. Can I wake up this blue paint and then probably add a little bit more, because that looks quite watered down. And we do want to be able to see our line weight. It doesn't need to be super loud, but it does need to be visible. That's important. Thus. Okay, that is actually super loud, but it also feels quite wet, so it'll probably dry down a little bit lighter than that, which is I would say probably ideal, but we'll see how we go. Trying to keep these fairly light and breezy, these lines. Just because I think that's a nice, anyways. But yes, I need to work out with my moderator / spouse where we're going for a meal tomorrow, because I don't know. Roll says Barilas gluten-free pastas are really good. Best I've found. Nice, good to know. I've just been buying like supermarket brand here, and they've been pretty good. Though I did get I got the only ones that I've found that were, you know, the teeny tiny little soup pasta pieces that you put in like, that you put in soups and that kind of thing. Was made by Romo, and they were quite good as well. But yeah, it's nice that there are options, and it's nice that they're good. It feels good. And honestly, like, genuinely, I think if you were to sit me down and be like, okay, is this regular pasta? I wouldn't be able to tell. Would not be able to tell with a lot of the pastas, which is great. Though I will say there is also a pasta that Waitrose makes, which is my a local supermarket here in the United Kingdom. That is made entirely out of lentil flour. It does not have the flavor and texture of regular pasta, but sometimes I really just actually prefer it as like an option. I think it's really nice with like a tomato sauce or something like that. It's got a toothsome texture, I would say, but in a way that I find very pleasing. These are not evenly spaced. These tiles are very misshapen. Because I had drawn a nice little grid of tiles in, and I can't actually see any of my original lines, so I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants here and improvising, and that's just gonna have to be okay. Tal says the better gluten-free pastas disappeared from my local supermarket. Oh no, the store brand is okay, but not as good. Ah, beans. The one thing I will say about like some of the store brand ones that I have had is that they do want, I think, to fall apart more easily than the regular ones. Just a little bit. But I just have to be mindful of how I cook them, or not mind if they're kind of in more than one piece when I serve up, and I don't think we care personally. But that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. I'm having pasta with tomato sauce with aubergines. Going to try and give it a vague sort of melanzane parmigiana sort of vibe, with a little bit of cheese and some aubergine and a tomato sauce. But I didn't want to go to the effort of actually making like aubergine parm because it's faffy. And I didn't want to. But I want aubergine, so that's what I'm doing. Anyways. Yummy. Also, it's one of those meals that doesn't take a truly insane amount of time to put together, which also always feels very good. So, happy with that. What is this green? This is just green. Okay, that's actually really good. If I just pick up more green, add it to this green puddle, and now we can start adding some line weight onto this building, which is, I think, hopefully really good. Anyways, once again, I am unsurprised, but also kind of surprised to learn that World Book Day is actually just UK and Ireland Book Day, but hey. I guess that doesn't have the right ring to it. But still, it was a coincidence that it happened to also be a day when I was painting a bookshop into existence. But I'm glad it exists. I think books are good. I think books are important. I recently bought myself a new book, and I'm very excited about it. At some point, I'd really like to publish another book. But I have to finish writing a book first, and then somehow make it publishable. Yay. I hope you like whimsy and, I don't know, queer people, and, any book that I publish is going to have those two things in it. Anyways, I am, what shall I say? How shall I say? Predictable in that way? But no, that's just my brand, and it's good to have a brand, I guess. And that's my brand. Yay. Anyways. Okay. Oh, that line is very loud. Okay. These lines are so freaking wibbly. So wibbly. There is no straightness to these lines. But you know, I figure like this is an old shop. It's been there probably since based on the architecture, probably sometime in the 19th century maybe. Like this shop has been there for a wee while. So I'm hopeful that to that end we can forgive any wibbly lines just because it is a somewhat older building. And sometimes older building be like that. Right? I guess. I don't know. Anyways. Or at least I'm hopeful that we can forgive that. But also, you know, wibbly lines, charming. So, since when was anything straight in the stream, says Casa. Hi, Casa! I mean, you're not wrong. The tag is in use here. We are not, this is not a straight stream. Hi, I'm bi. But yeah. Anyways. At least that's now my excuse for why the lines are all wiggity wonky. Just like my inability to like sit correctly. I also cannot paint a straight line. That's the power. That's the power of bi-ness. Oh, speaking of, so, in another part of my life, I don't have to interface with it directly myself, but I'm aware of the fact that there is this like, computery based entity called business intelligence, right? BI for short, but there's also power business intelligence, which is power bi for short, and I'm like, hell yeah! Excuse me, I'm a power bi. Oh boy, Casa says, I've been lurking the entire stream. Awesome, hello. Well, now that you've broken lurk, I can acknowledge that you're here. Hi. Because previously, I did not know. As always, lurkage, very welcome. Chattage, also very welcome. It's all good. As long as no one's actively being a horrible person, they are welcome here. And you're over 18. Because that's the rules. Anyways. Okie dokie. I think that I feel like this is starting to feel kind of good. I feel like this is starting to look kind of good. Feeling kind of good about it. What's that all about? What's up with that? I don't know. Just sat down to eat Japanese curry. Casa, I love that for you. That sounds so good. So I love a Japanese curry. I find it it's very cozy. If you have never had a Japanese curry, a gazillion out of 10 do recommend. They're delicious. Love that for you. Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, there was a little blip in the line, and I tried to fix it, and in trying to fix it, guess what? I made it worse. Hooray. There. Okay. But we're getting there on the lines for this, I think. I feel like I feel like a lot of the time, because putting lines, like nice sort of defined non super faint pencil sketch lineage, is often like the last step in my doing an artwork. And it really is the thing that kind of makes things kind of stand out and pop and look the way that they're supposed to. Before that, just looks like butt. And then once that starts coming in, it's like, oh, it's kind of starting to take shape. I feel like it looks kind of good now. But until then, oh well, okay. But I am feeling reasonably positive about this now, I think. So that's good, I hope. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, so it's just some little architectural flourishes here that I want to kind of pick out. If I can, if my paint is still flowing, please still be flowing, Mr. Paint. Please and thank you. I would love it if you did that. I regret to say I'm not sure we're going to finish this piece today. Again, can you believe To Learn to Know? I honestly thought we'd be done with this today, but no. I'm going to have to finish this like tomorrow or on the weekend probably. Which, you know, is also fine. That is entirely also fine. And I am very happy to do it. But it was not my expectation. And that's okay. Okay. Just another one here. Like this. Alright. Well, I'll see if we can at least get a little bit more of this done before we call it quits, in any case. We got the bookshelves finished, which in and of itself is kind of an achievement, so I feel, you know, quite positive about that. I feel like this line could use a little bit of, this one kind of faded out a little bit, so let's just fix that real quick. And also just the little sort of framing bit around the letterbox, like so. These little guys are so patient. They have been standing here for like a week now. Poor little creatures. I honestly didn't anticipate when I started this that this painting was going to take this long. But gestures at bookshelves. I'm silly. Okay, do I want to add any additional? Yes. Just answering my question before I finished asking it, as one does. Once again, programming note, will be continuing with Dadish 3 tomorrow, so that hopefully will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be a good time. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with Dadish 3, it is a video game that I've been playing on Friday streams for the last few weeks, wherein the player plays as a radish who is a parent to a clutch of little baby radishes who, in this game, have absconded on a field trip, and we have to try and recover them. It is an unauthorized field trip, and it's very unsafe. So we are on a mission to get our kids back, There is some plot developments that I won't spoil for you if you haven't experienced them, but yeah, it's a fun time. It's a really cute game. Gazillion out of 10. Do recommend once again because it's just great. Okay, I'm just gonna steal some of this weird gray over here, because I just want to be done with everything on these bookshelves, and I didn't do the little ticket that tells us what's going on with this selection of books that they've marked out for the for their window display. I wonder what sorts of books they've decided to highlight here, and something else. Hey buddy, how's it going? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a good one. I'm having a sip of my tea. This one is mint. But yeah, how are you doing? Lovely to see you. And happy World Book Day, which is the thing that I knew it was when I decided to paint this. I super didn't. I super did not. I feel like that's a thing you know about more if you have kids probably here, but I am not a parent. Therefore, it is not within my realm of things that I have to know about on the regular, so I don't know that. Okay. What do I want to put next? Maybe I should carry on from doing all of the little detaily liney things to doing all of the little detaily liney things on this little unit next door, for which I'm going to need some very concentrated yellow. So, take my little yellow space. Oh no, my yellow paint is very not active. So just get some water on that, see if I can get it to activate a little bit and get a nice thick line amount onto my brush so that it's nice and visible. Ooh, get a load of that visibility. We love to see it. That's nice. This is a really nice yellow. I can't remember what the name of it means. Here's what it says. Komugi Iro means color. I know that. But I'm not sure about komugi. I want to say maybe like wheat, maybe? Is it like wheat color, or am I misremembering? It might be something in that vein in any case. I think. But do not quote me on that because I do not speak very many words in Japanese. I know some niceties and some words for food and a couple of other like keywords, and that's kind of about it. Oh, and some names for like articles of clothing. And some festivals. Like, I think that I don't know if they're at like peak hanami, but that's like when the cherry blossoms are in bloom and everyone goes to the park and it's really crowded and kind of overrated because it's just like a sea of people and some trees. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the look of the cherry blossoms, but I don't love massive crowds of people. So, am I going to Japan in cherry blossom season? No. I think given my choice between cherry blossom season and like the leaves are changing color to like red and brown and stuff like autumn season, I think that makes clear what my preference is of the two of them. I'm more of an autumn enjoyer, I think, if I had to choose between the two. Oh, I just noticed I didn't do that little line there. Shoot. Well, I'll have to do it later. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I do love the looks of the flowering trees, but my God, it's especially in like the big parks and big cities, expect large numbers of people. No, thank you. That's a hard pass from me. I try to avoid large assemblages of people at the very best of times, so, you know. If you're imagining having a nice romantic picnic under the tree, good luck. Basically, just good luck. It's gonna be super busy. But you know, if that's something that you're super into, it's probably still worth doing. It's just personally not for me because I'm a shy plum, and I get overwhelmed in crowded spaces. So, nah, it's fine. Anyways. At least this little bakery cafe is not too crowded, so these two can go have a little snack or something when they're done with their they can go sit down in here and have like a nice you know, coffee, maybe a nice black filter coffee with 5 sugars, or a flat white, or a chai latte, or I don't know why I'm just listing cafe drinks now. A hot chocolate with extra whipped cream, because that sounds delicious to me. Maybe I'll have a hot chocolate tonight. I can do that if I want to. How exciting. What a wonderful life to live when you can have a hot chocolate if you want to. No whipped cream, though. And I'll have to take a lactase pill if I do decide to have a hot chocolate with whipped cream. But I can. Or if I don't want to, well, I can't have the whipped cream because I don't have any. But if I decided that I wanted to skip the lactase pill, I could conceivably just have a Milo in oat milk as well. Deliciousness. Delightful. So, yeah, that's nice. Anyways. Speaking of just, like, pleasantness, I wanted to mention this because I just think it's so stinking cute. There is an account on Blue Sky that just posts, like, excerpts from Frog and Toad stories, occasionally with a picture as well, called Frog and Toad Bot, and it just regularly posts something from like a Frog and Toad book, and it's all just so cozy and nice. If you're following me, you will see that I've like shared numerous posts from this account, because every time they turn up, I'm just like, oh, this is delightful. This is just so cozy. I love Frog and Toad. It's a good vibe. Also, shout out to fellow artist Trisha, I think it was, on Instagram, who painted a Frog and Toad book cover, but titled it "Frog and Toad Have Gay Sex." I'm like, I mean, yeah, we know. That is to say, obviously, they don't in the books, because they're very all ages books. But the author was a gay fella and did imbue sort of that experience into the stories of Frog and Toad, which are very cozy and wholesome and adorable, and I love them very much. So yeah. Anyways, what else needs to be did here? Oh, there's some lines that I forgot. There's definitely some lines that I forgot. There's this one, which needs filling in. Plap, like so. And then, do I want to just imply the little sort of recess of the door up top? Yes, I do. So it feels a little bit more complete. I think that's it for yellow, though. So that's really good. I don't think I'm not going to be able to get everything else done. But there is one thing that I really, really want to do before this piece is finished. I'm wondering if I should try and do it now or if I should leave it until the very end. Because I really want to give a little, like... I want to pop a little rose in his buttonhole of his jacket there. But I don't know if I should do it after I've done all the lines for the little dude. I feel like maybe I should leave that until I've done all the lines for the little dude. Because I don't want to then try and go over the lines and just make a mess of it. So I think I'm going to not do that for the moment. And instead, I'm going to pick up some of this kind of weird bluish grayish color, blend it up, and just get some outline on these little letter boxes if I can, but then also give the doors handles. Thusly. And this one has a handle as well, though you can only see a little bit of it because there's a little guy standing in the way. Hello, Kobe. Welcome in. You're just in time for I'm finishing. But it's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. However, are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I will do a couple more little details before we call it a day for today. I think maybe do I want to just pop some light definition onto these window frames? I think I shall. The window frames are just like white, so not too concerned about having them be all colored in and stuff. Thus, yeah, I think that's as much as that needs to be. Anyways, but yeah. Hope y'all are having a good literary day. Hope y'all have a good evening as well. I'm looking forward to having pasta. And I am once again very sorry that this painting has taken longer than I expected it would, and I'm going to have to finish it off stream on the weekend. So it goes. Nevertheless, I've had fun. Is this anything? Do people enjoy this? I honestly don't know. I'm very bad at gauging whether or not people are like actually having a nice time enjoying things, whether my stream is an enjoyable place to hang out. I just don't know. I also have what the girls like to call crippling social anxiety and masses of self-doubt. I try not to let that bleed out, but you know, sometimes it do anyways. Hello. I'm enjoying some styles. Thank you. Yes, says Kobe. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have a slug of my Solo because it's delicious. It is. I mean, it just tastes like fizzy orange juice, honestly, but it's really good. I think it's nicer than Fanta, but not as nice as Tuborg squash. I enjoy, says Kobe. Aw, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you, thank you. Incidentally, if you ever hear me expressing like self-doubts or anything like that, that is not fishing for compliments. That's just my train of thought. Like, very much so. It's just very regularly in the land of, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know if anyone likes it. But here we are. Okay. I want to water this down quite a bit because I do need to put a little bit of line weight into the background of this neighboring cafe, but I really don't want it to be... I don't want it to draw too much focus away from anywhere else, so I'm going to try and keep it nice and subtle. And if I'm being honest, I'm just going to use the same color for all of it. Just to keep things nice and simple. Yeah. That's actually, that line has completely disappeared, so I will try and recover it a little bit, but... Okay. I've got this chair used to have some interesting details in the, like, frame of it, which have kind of fully vanished, but never mind. As long as you can kind of still tell that it's a chair, I guess that's the important thing. I think you can just about sort of tell that it's meant to be a chair. It's a very janky looking chair now, but hey, you know, there's chairs in this cafe, okay? It's good enough. At some point, sometimes you just gotta good enough and move on with your life. And that's exactly what I intend to do here. So, modifying my brown slightly for our window bread. Because the window bread is very important. Do. Oh, and doesn't it look delicious? I hope it looks delicious. I'm thinking this is like a light sort of rye sourdough loaf. This is like a mixed grain bread. And up here we have la pièce de résistance. Some kind of layer cake. I'm thinking it's probably like, ooh, you know, it could be like a spiced cake. I was thinking a chocolate cake, but it could also be like a spiced cake of some kind. Up in the window here. There's more stuff that you can't see over on the side, and there's things in the countertop at the back. There's a lot that you can't see in this coffee shop, but is there and delicious and delightful. Okay, I think. Can I make a start on doing these little guys? I don't want to rush it. Like I don't want to do it super quickly and then have it turn out, you know, bad. But I think I can maybe. Okay, I accidentally gave him a little bit of a chin dimple, which I didn't mean to do, so we're gonna pretend that isn't there. Oh no! Can I get rid of it? Yes, I can, kind of. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna just grab a bit of tissue and just flip. Okay, that never happened. Chat, whatever you think you just saw me do, you didn't. It's fine. Oh, okay. I just noticed there was a teeny tiny droplet of water on the ferrule, and when that happens, you know, you got to get rid of it before it makes your paint go and get all bad. That we do not want. Oh, he's got a cute little nosy woes, this little guy. I like it. And a very earnest sort of a smile, I think. Saw what, says Roll. That's the right answer. Thank you. Is the right answer. Hell yeah. Okay. Just slightly modifying my brown for this little pal, this little husband, maybe? Are they married? Are they just good friends? Well, you know, I married my best friend, so make of that what you will. There we go. Oh, shut up. They're so cute. Oh no, they're cute. Please don't look too closely at their little faces, but also look at their little faces. They are very cute. Okay, did that pick up any paint? Oh, it did. Oh, that picked up way more paint than I thought it did. Okay, but that's good, because now I need to try and color in their eyes. Which, you know, sometimes for eyes, I just want to do basically just dots. Basically just dots. Ta-da! They've got eyes now. Are they cute or are they creepy? I can't tell. I'm sure they'll dry down cute. Anyways. Oh my goodness. This is going amazingly. This is going so well. I'm very pleased. Okay, can I get a really good sort of dark suit color here? Hell yeah. Oh, this fellow is looking very smartly appointed in his little suit. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. 2 buttons, perhaps. I don't know what an appropriate number of buttons is for a suit jacket. When's the last time I wore a suit jacket? I used to wear them quite a lot, and then I decided actually these do not suit my body type at all. And I do not feel confident and sexy in them. And now I dress like a clown grandpa. And occasionally an 18th century milkmaid. That's my aesthetic. Isn't it something? I mean, realistically, though, most of the time my aesthetic is what I'm wearing at home, and most of the time when I'm at home, I'm just like a goblin in pajamas. I've just got pajim-dam trousers on at the moment. And, well, I mean, obviously also a top I'm wearing. I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt that's cute. It's got a picture of a blazing fire coming out of a candle with 1,000 wicks, and it says it's candle season in big letters. What more could you want? I do actually really love this this top. I think it's super cute, and I love the messaging of it. I think is delightful. Who wouldn't want a 1,000 wick candle? So like maximum cozy. Surely that's maximum cozy right there. Okay, so oh god, I don't know if these are cute or if they're cursed. I don't know if these are cute or if they're cursed. They might be a little cursed. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, what shall I do to mitigate the curse? I need to get line weight on this young man's hair for one thing. So let me attempt to do that. It's very cute, this hair, I think, at least. At least that's a thing about this painting that's cute. There we go. Okay. It's cute, says Sammy, and thank you. That's very kind. If I wanted to paint it in, which I don't, they would be blushing. But I don't. I've just seen the time, so I have to call it there because I have to cook dinner. It's later than I thought it was, so I'm gonna call it there for today, I guess, and I'm gonna have to finish the rest of this off stream. Do a little bit of zhuzhing, do a little bit of value adjustment potentially, just to get everything looking as I would like it to. But you know, we're a good like 90% of the way there. So yeah, it is whatever it is, and I tried. So, let me see who we can go say hello to in the meantime. Also, thanks for hanging out today. It's been really nice. We'll see you next time, so Sammy. It's coming along, and I love it very much. Thank you, thank you. I will probably finish this off stream because there's not a lot left to it, and we'll start something else on a Monday because I feel like it. But we're gonna go do a little raid. I'm gonna see whether or not this person is just about to end before I go. Are you just about to, please don't be just about to finish. Otherwise that would be silly. I don't think they're just about to finish. Okay, cool. In that case, let us go do a little raidy raid, if I can. Please work. Please work. Please work. Hold on. Hold, hold, hold. I think they might have actually been just about to end. Hold, hold. Hold, please. Oh, God. This is not going to plan. Hold. We'll get there. Let's try this again. Okay. I don't think you're just about to finish, are you? Because you don't normally... No, you're not just about to... Okay, we're rating Perrin. There we go. We got there. Okay, I did press start right. Cool. Okay. Here's the generic grade message for anyone who's still here. We're gonna go say hi to Perrin. If you don't know Sab, she's awesome. They do really beautiful artworks, and it's a nice, chill, pleasant place to hang out with really cool people. Here's a generic raid message for you if you would like. I'll be continuing on with these shenanigans off stream, because there's probably only about like 20 minutes of it left to futz around with, and we'll be starting something else on Monday. But in the meantime, I'll be streaming tomorrow morning, playing some Dadish 3, which is a really, really cute, cozy little platformer game. Very pixely, very retro vibes, very funny, and it's a really good time. So please do consider joining in if you're around tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Feel free to copy the raid message. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message. Regardless, I gotta go cook dinner, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night, and good luck.